I'm reading the book by Haruki Murakami. What I talk about when I talk about running. Forward. Suffering is optional. There is a wise saying that goes like this. A real gentleman never discusses a woman he has broken up with or how much tax he has paid. Actually, this is a total lie. I just made it up. Sorry. But if there really were such a saying, I think that one more condition for being a gentleman would be keeping quiet about what you do to stay healthy. A gentleman shouldn't go on and on about what he does to stay fit. At least that's how I see it. As everybody knows, I'm no gentleman, so maybe I shouldn't be worrying about this to begin with. But still, I'm a little hesitant about writing this book. This might come off sounding like a dodge. But this is a book about running, not a treatise on how to be healthy. I'm not trying here to give advice like, okay, everybody, let's run every day to stay healthy. Instead, this is a book in which I have gathered my thoughts about what running has meant to me as a person. Just a book in which I ponder various things and think out loud. Somerset Maugham once wrote that in each shave lies a philosophy. Did I pronounce Somerset Maugham correctly? Maugham or Maugham? Please forgive me if I didn't read it correctly. I couldn't agree more. No matter how mundane some action might appear, keep it at it long enough and it becomes a contemplative, even meditative act. As a writer, then, and as a runner, I don't find that writing and publishing a book of my own personal thoughts about running makes me stray too far off my usual path. Perhaps I'm just too painstaking, a type of a person, but I cannot grasp much of anything without putting down my thoughts in writing. So I had to actually get my hands working and write these words. Otherwise, I would never know what running means to me. Once I was lying around a hotel room in Paris, reading the International Herald Tribune, when I came across a special article on the marathon. There were interviews with several famous marathon runners, and they were asked what special mantra goes through their head to keep themselves pumped during a race. Interesting question, I thought. I was impressed by all the different things these runners think about as they run 26.5 miles. It just goes to show how grueling an event a marathon really is. If you don't keep repeating a mantra of some sort to yourself, you will never survive. One runner told of a mantra his older brother, also a runner, had taught him which he has pondered ever since he began running. Here it is. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Say you are running and you start to think, man, this hurts. I cannot take it anymore. The hurt part is an unavoidable reality, but whether or not you can stand anymore is up to the runner himself. This pretty much sums up the most important aspect of marathon running. It's been some 10 years since I first had the idea of a book about running. But the years went by with me trying out one approach after another, never actually settling down to write it. Running is sort of a vague theme to begin with, and I found it hard to figure out exactly what I should say about it. At a certain point, though, I decided that I should just write honestly about what I think and feel about running, and stick to my own style. I figured that was the only way to get going, and I started writing the book bit by bit in the summer of 2005, finishing it in the fall of 2006. Other than a few places where I quote from previous writings I have done, the bulk of this book records my thoughts and feelings in real time. One thing I noticed was that writing honestly about running and writing honestly about myself are nearly the same thing. So I suppose it's all right to read this as a kind of a memoir, centered on the act of writing. Though I wouldn't call any of this a philosophy per se, this book does contain a certain amount of what might be dubbed life lessons. They might not amount to much, but they are personal lessons I have learned through actually putting my own body in motion, and thereby discovering that suffering is optional. They may not be lessons you can generalize, but that's because what's presented here is me, the kind of person I am. August 2007.